Go ahead, mate.
Awesome. I just wanted to talk about the squad at the moment and how much dead wood there is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and just see how long you guys think it might take to get out that dead wood and bring in something that we can actually use.
Well, I tell you what, right? Name us your dead wood, and that'll make it a little bit easier for
I
us.
think he's got him.
Go on.
I think he's got him.
No problems. If I start from the back, I think in defence you got players like Mason Holgate, Michael Keane that need to go, and then moving into midfield, the likes of Andre Gomez, the likes of Gabamin, and up front. I mean, we could be here all night talking about Rondon, but I don't know what the point was in giving that man any sort of contract. So I'd want to see him out the door as quickly as possible. And I could go on, but I'll let you start with
Okay,
those guys.
5 players, right? That, and you're all, every single one of them is definitely people I would be trying to get rid of. But in the summer, I think Mason Holgate is not going anywhere in his career, and I think he knows that.
At Everton.
Well, that's it. It's his career, isn't it? I think he'll know that. He's 24. He should be starting wherever you get to 24, 25, you should be starting wherever you are. And if you're not, then you have to ask the question why you're not and move. So I think he's definitely Michael Keane, 100%. And I think if Everton in the summer could get one really, really good centre-back, then I think those two, plus Yerry Mina, could leave the club. Maybe a Michael Keane might stay because he's got experience and he might become the number 3, the number 4 centre back. But definitely Mason Holgate, boys.
Yeah, it's sad because I actually thought he was going to develop into something really good, Holgate, but he hasn't really kicked on whatsoever since he come back from that injury. The summer when Ancelotti's the start of last season, he'd finished the season strongly. The one before got an injury. Few games before the end, didn't he? But he come back pre-season, and everyone, including Ancelotti, was saying he's like the first choice centre back, remarkably. And then he done a stupid challenge in that Preston friendly, didn't he? And put himself out for 3 months. And since he's come back, he's played at right back. He's had to go with centre back. He's just not got any form whatsoever. To the point now where he's almost a liability when he's playing now because he takes chances when he shouldn't, and he's rash. So for me, it's for him, his own career, and for us, a partner, the wage is probably better. I don't see Michael Keane leaving.
To be honest,
think a squad player.
I could probably live with Michael Keane being a squad player, but the problem with Michael Keane is, and this is not his fault, is that he's the only player who ever stays fit. He's never injured. So he's in the team.
Centre back that doesn't get injured.
He's in the team by proxy, isn't he?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want him to start, but he's like, if you go back over the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's the only one who's always fit. So that's why he pretty much starts every game. So I'd keep him in round to be at the worst, because I think we're going to have to sell Mina.
His birthday tomorrow, Michael Keane, 29 tomorrow.
So Yerry Mina has got 1 year left in the summer. He would no point giving him a new contract. So we're gonna have to sell him. Get rid of him. Get rid of Mason Holgate. That leaves Branthwaite, Keane, and Godfrey. Get your number 1 centre back in then to play. And I honestly believe that if we were to get a real top class centre back in, I mean, when I say top class, I'm not talking Champions League level. I'm talking, someone who's just on the ladder below, on the run below, like the Rumble Cup.
The Rumble Cup, yeah.
I think he would make all those players better, and then you say then Michael Keane becomes a squad player. Moving into midfield, Gomez, I agree. I think he's a lovely player in possession, and he'd suit a lovely Iberian team. Portugal or Spain, playing his final days in the sun, just lovely pace football. It suits Italy as well, but somewhere because he's a lovely player in possession, but out of possession, and any time the opposition have got a press on him, it's game over. So I'm with you there. He's another one. He's at the right age to just get something out of him financially, and I do feel sorry for him because I think the injury has just took that little bit out of him that we were benefiting from. But I think you watch him physically, he doesn't move like he used to move for us. You remember at Old Trafford and at Anfield, the way people were like, "Who's this?"
Yeah.
Like he big, strong, held people off. And I know he wasn't like that in every game. It wasn't just the injury, but when he got the injury, it just physically and confidence-wise, it just took everything out of him.
He's 29 in the summer as well.
So how long's he got left in contract? 2 years and something?
2 years left.
So I'd look to shift him, definitely. Who was the other one in midfield? Was there another one?
Gbamin.
Yeah, sorry.
Gbamin, right, we were talking about this before. I would try and get Gbamin out on loan now, if you're not going to use him. And let's get 20 games under his belt. And let's just see what the lad is like after 20 games. Don't get me wrong. If someone was to come in with a decent offer now, I would probably take it if it meant we could replace him with, again, someone who was a starter. What do you? Because you think he's got a bit more in him.
No, I'm a bit like you. It'd just be a pity to see him go out above it, not knowing, right? But if I was given an offer today, I would probably take it. But I thought he'd done all right Saturday. I think he's got the attributes we want for a midfielder. Big, strong. Before his injury, he was all over the pitch. But I understand why Josh is like mentioning Gbamin, because we're getting nothing out of him. 3 games or something this season in the league he's appeared, and started one, he's on for 3 minutes in one, 10 minutes in another. It's not as if the manager's going, I've got a plan for him. If the manager's letting people aware that he can go out, then he's not in his plans, is he? He's taking money. He's 26. We've seen nothing of him. So I understand with that. But, I mean, there is others. Delph.
Well, Delph's going anyway, isn't he?
Delph on a shelf. Get him out now. Cancel his contract today. And like, throw something at him on the way out. Looks like a sausage roll.
No, just get
dunk,
neck, arse.
And just fair play.
Because I reckon where the Finch Farm gate is, I reckon he could hit the bramble bushes. No problem, dunk.
Possibly. Get him out the club.
And the build houses on the other side of that now.
Okay.
So he'd get a job.
All right.
As a brickie.
He'd be injured. He'd lay 3 bricks. He wouldn't see him again for about 6 months. Now, Delph to go.
Rondon.
Rondon.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
He was bought as a sub. But I think when we said, actually, it makes sense, he's a sub. And because we were thinking what he was like at Newcastle and West Brom. Yeah. We've seen none of that. I mean, on Saturday, it was probably one of his better games for Everton for a bit. And that basically consisted of flicking a couple of headers on and holding the ball up every now and again.
He made 2 big chances, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I didn't see them. But there you go. Josh, there wouldn't be any questions I wouldn't be questioning you at all over him either. But there's others, isn't there? You know, we've just mentioned Delph. What would you do with Tom Davies, Josh? Because he's another one. It's just rolling on and he's not making his mark, is he?
No, he's not. But I think what Tom Davies has that other players don't is he's that homegrown talent. So you know, in some ways he can fall back on that, and there is some affinity from the fan base towards him.
Yeah,
is there?
Someone like Rondon.
Are you sure there's affinity?
I think there should be, even if it's not always coming across over social media.
Yeah, there should be. There should be.
But someone like Rondon, you know, at least if they were playing Sims or Dobbin up front, you could fall back on the fact they're a youth and they're making their way. Rondon's meant to be this experienced player that comes in and holds the fort when our starting attackers are injured, and I just have not seen one piece of anything that's not rubbish from him.
Do you know what I will say about Rondon though, and I don't like it's not like he's not like one of those players who's lazy either. He just can't move.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not. I do believe he's
not
trying.
For the ones that's trying.
It's just he literally is me in nightmares trying to run away from people.
You know what? We said this on Saturday. It was like, because I'd just said to my mate that a couple of hours before I had that dream where Everton asked you to play, and then you're playing, you can't run. And I was like, it's my dream. Look, the ball got played. And he's like,
Scooby-Doo. Yeah, get away from the villain.
You're trying to run like you're running in
fact, maybe he is the Scooby-Doo villain. Maybe someone will take his mask off.
And he's Cuca Martina.
Yeah.
Or Sam Allardyce.
Or Nias.
No, Nias is good. Nias scored goals. You're on about.